Hey folks, welcome back. So earlier today I was actually working on the Woodland Mills bushing replacement video, so we just have a little bit of time here today for our first day for this week. But what I want to work on is on the loading doors over here. As you can see, they are not sealed along through here. And what I want to do to try and get a fairly good air seal along these hinge edges is I stopped by the local bike store and I picked up some old inner tubes. But what I did is I split them in half, and then we're going to take these and we are going to hook them to both the door and the frame here and try and pull it fairly tight to cover up this hole and make a flexible seal along there that'll hopefully keep any wind out. Now it took me actually 2 trips over there because this is not exactly the best time of year to be trying to find inner tubes, but we did manage to get a few, so that's what we're going to work on here this afternoon. So today we are going to work on a little project with the cedar post that we brought down, I guess it was last week, I think. And what we're going to do with those is we're going to make a cap stand. And this is not the kind of cap stand that you would find on a sailing vessel. This is a stand for the cap on the back of the truck. Because I've got a couple things I want to do where I'm going to need the cap off of there. And the easiest way to have it so that you can get it on and off is to build a stand that's about yay high, so that way you can just kind of back in right under it and then you can sort of lift it up and you just take the cap right off. It's really easy. It'll make more sense once you see it. Alright, so today is our last day for this week, and we are going to do a little bit of work on the old Land Cruiser that we've got down under the mill house here. And the next step for that is to put in a new fuel pump, and while we're at it we'll put in a new fuel filter as well. Now these are very much not OEM, but you know what, that is not what we're going for with this project. We just want it to work and be fairly reliable so that we have a good four-wheel drive vehicle for getting around the farm. Alright, so before we start doing anything with our new fuel pump on here and sucking stuff up with that, what we're going to do is we are going to hook this thing back up to it again, and there's actually a little container attachment that hooks to the front of this. So what I can do is I can suck some fuel through, it'll go into the little holding container without going up into our pump. And that way I can suck some fuel through the lines, and then if there's any gunky stuff or whatever else may have gotten in there over the last 12 years while it's just been sitting, we'll get all that stuff sucked out of there. I can properly dispose of all of this little fuel that I'll suck through, and then we can hook up the new fuel pump and hopefully get some nice fresh gas going through there. Alright, well, I've been messing around with this for a little while here, and as it turns out, I do not have the correct fittings to get in the new fuel filter. However, I do have what I need to get the new fuel pump in there, and actually I've already got that hooked in there and ready to go. However, this one is an electric fuel pump. It doesn't work off from mechanical stuff in the engine there. So we got to get this wired up, and it has to be hooked up to something that is only has 12 volts to it when the key is turned on, because you don't want it just running 24/7. So I gotta figure out where I'm hooking this into, and then once we get that hooked in, we should be able to try starting this thing. Alright, well, if we wired this thing correctly, when we turn the key on here, we should hear that start clicking and trying to pump some fuel through these lines. We're so close. Alright, well, another week and it still hasn't gotten a start going on it yet. So I think the next step is probably going to be to clean the carburetor, pull that, or clean it out and whatnot. It could be that we aren't getting fuel past that point and actually into the engine. So I think we'll probably check into that next, see if that's giving us any issues. And we'll go from there. I'm not sure if we'll work on that at all next week. I think I've got a few other things that I may want to work on. So I think that's going to be it for this week's video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.